Hi, this is from my channel. Today we're going to be answering the question, why do giraffes have such long necks? Well, there are two ways we can answer this question. The first way is easy, but it's not very interesting. Basically, this is just because they evolved that way. Like, if you look at the evolution of giraffes over time, you can see that they gradually got longer and longer necks until we got the giraffes of today. But that doesn't really explain why they evolved that way or what advantage it might give them. So let's take a second approach. The most obvious advantage of having a long neck would be to reach high up into the trees and grab leaves that other animals could. And sure enough, when we look at what giraffes eat, we find that they primarily eat leaves from acacia trees, which are around 16 feet up. In fact, giraffes will often use their long tongues to strip the leaves right off the branches, and those long necks also help giraffes see over the tall grasses of the African plains, giving them a better view of potential predators. But giraffes also use their long necks in another surprising way: hibernation. What? Yeah, surprisingly, giraffes do hibernate. Well, not all giraffes, and not technically true hibernation. But every winter, the giraffes in colder climates will slow down their metabolism and basically just take the winter off. This is called torpor, and it's actually a common adaptation in many species of mammals, where they basically slow down their metabolism and enter a state similar to sleep. But they don't actually sleep. The entire time, like koalas, they'll still occasionally wake up, but for the majority of each day, they'll be hibernating. Now, scientists think that this is an adaptation to save energy when food is scarce. Hibernating giraffes can go without food for up to 2 weeks at a time. Okay, so we've talked about how they use their long necks to get food and how their long necks allow them to hibernate. But why do they need to hibernate? Well, giraffes live in Africa, and in Africa, there are lots of predators that want to eat them, like lions, hyenas, and humans. So giraffes need to conserve energy to run away from predators. The longer their neck, the more energy they need to run that neck. So basically, by slowing down their metabolism, they can save energy that they would otherwise need to run away from predators. But wait a second, I thought giraffes were like 16 feet tall. If they're so tall, then shouldn't they be able to outrun any predator? Well, yeah, except for humans. Humans can run about 7 miles per hour, which is faster than even the fastest giraffes. So the giraffes need a way to escape, or at least slow down the predators. By slowing their metabolism way down, they can essentially play dead. And this seems to work, since scientists have observed that hyenas almost never attack giraffes and lions, only attack giraffes when they re-sick or very young. So now we know that their long necks help them to obtain food, see predators, and hibernate. But there's one more thing. You see, giraffes have 7 neck vertebrae, just like humans do, but their neck vertebrae are much longer. So what's going on there? Well, every mammal has a certain number of neck vertebrae, and that number is always even. You can't have an odd number of neck vertebrae. So giraffes couldn't have just grown an extra neck bone. It had to come from somewhere. So it's hypothesized that early giraffes actually had shorter necks with the same number of neck bones. But over millions of years, their necks gradually got longer and longer, eventually becoming the long necks we see today. I hope you enjoyed learning about giraffes with me. If you did, please remember to subscribe. And as always, this has been your host from my channel. Remember, stay curious.